Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Recently I went on a trip to Mexico and let me just tell you, it was the weirdest 4 days of my life. Like nothing like this has ever happened to me, and I heard that my dad and my family have stories about Mexico and how stuff has happened to them while growing up, but personally I never experienced that. But let me just tell you, I was shook. This didn't just happen to me. Like, no, this is a joke. Well, let me tell you, it's not, it's real. Stuff like this actually happened. You don't even know what I'm talking about. But let me just get into the story. So, my grandma has rooms downstairs and upstairs, outside. Anyways, we go up there. Cute little place, little living room, you know, cute. First night, nothing happens, right? It was all cool. My uncle and my cousin were like, oh, te van a espantar, blah, blah, blah. I was like, boy, whatever. Nothing's gonna happen. First night, cool. Second day comes around, right? Me and my cousin, we're getting ready, blah, blah, blah. And I was facing the mirror, straightening my hair, when a little music box goes off. And I was just like, did you hear that? And she's like, yeah. And I said, that thing's playing. Like, that thing's playing. The music box playing. So I picked it up and it played on my hand. And I was just like I didn't think much about it because it's a music box. And I turn it around and there's no batteries. But you know how some music boxes have the little switch you can turn? So it had a big one, a circle one. I go like that to see if I can turn it. Sis, tell me why it's loose. It's loose. So I was just like, that's weird. I put it down. I continued doing what I'm doing because I was hungry, right? I wanted to go eat. I didn't think much about it. I just thought it was weird. Okay. So that night, I put my towel on top of the dresser, right? I didn't think much about it when I woke up the next morning and saw it on the floor. We have the fan on, probably fell. So I put it back, right? And the whole day it's like that. During the night, again, the music box plays. And we're literally like chilling on our phones on the bed. And we just look at each other. It's old. It plays by itself. Whatever. Next morning, I see my towel on the floor. And I'm just like, the towel was there. Nobody touched it. How did it fall on the floor? Like, I hung it up. Didn't touch it, didn't even go near it. All day it was there. But this morning, it's on the floor. Again, didn't think nothing about it. Just put it back, hung it up again. Went out, did my thing. Later that day, you know, I went to the restroom, doing my thing on my phone, like scroll. When I, like, literally the toilet's right here and the door is literally like not even 2 feet away. And I see someone like, I didn't see someone, but someone went like that to open the door, which I locked. I guess it didn't lock, but it went like that. And I went fast. I was like, what the? I'm in the restroom. Okay. I hurried up, did my thing, washed my hands, get out. I seen my cousin was in the living room. And I was like, Pau, like, ¿quién entró al baño? She said, nobody. Me. You're lying, because somebody just opened my door, so who did it? And she's like, seriously, nobody went in that room. Me. Which I thought was funny. I thought, like, what the heck? Like, weird. I was like, no. Literally, someone opened my door, and as soon as I grabbed it and pulled it back and closed it, I heard footsteps. Like, you know when you hear, like, little kids run? Like, that's why I heard, like, a little kid run out. And she looked at me and she's like, that's weird, because seriously, nobody's entered that room. And the room has a bathroom. It's the only one with the bathroom, so you have to enter the room to use the bathroom. And there's like outside the rooms, there's like a little living room, and she was there doing her homework. So I was like, that's weird. And then my cousin comes and she's like, did somebody open the door? And I said, yes. And she's like, okay, remember last night how I went to go shower? And I said, yeah, but you didn't, like you ended up coming back. She's like, yeah, because somebody opened the door. And I said, how, if it was just me and you up there and I was in the other room? She's like, exactly. I dipped back to the room. I didn't shower till the next morning. I said, that's weird. I said, that's weird. Okay. I'm gonna go tell my grandma. Entonces bajamos, right? Bajamos and everybody's in the, well, out in Mexico you eat outside. Well, we eat outside. They have tables in a kitchen, right? So we sat down and I was eating whatever, and I tell my grandma, le digo, like, hey grandma, like, who's entered the rooms, like who's recently entered the rooms upstairs? And she's like, nobody. And I said, like, nobody stays upstairs? Like, you don't send people to sleep upstairs? She's like, no, like, if they do sleep upstairs, they sleep in the room that has the bathroom. And I said, what about the other rooms? And she's like, oh, nobody has entered there. Like, nobody sleeps in the other two rooms. And I said, oh. And she's like, yeah, why? Is something wrong? I said, like, are you sure, like, nobody's been up there? She's like, yeah, like, before you guys came, I sent people upstairs to go clean the rooms for you guys. I said, and nobody has touched nothing? And she's like, no, nobody enters those rooms. They only enter the room with the bathroom. And nobody enters the other rooms. Just one time when I sent them to go clean. And I said, oh, okay, well, here's the thesis. And I told her, alguien me abrió la puerta en el baño. And she's like, don't scare me. I said, no, en serio, like, alguien me abrió la puerta when I was in the bathroom. And I heard little footsteps, like little kids, like little footsteps. And she's like, you're not the first person that tells me that. And everybody just kept looking at me. And I was like, I'm so serious. Like, I'm not making this up. I heard what I heard. And I saw what I saw. Because somebody did try to open the door. And she just laughed. And she's like, son los duendes. And I said, well, I ain't the one, because they better not try it. I said, they can run around, do whatever they want. Just don't appear. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. Run, do whatever you gotta do, but don't come near me. And then I told her about the music box. And I was like, whose music box is that in the room? And she's like, oh, it's your cousin's. When she was little, when she used to, like, stay here. Which, sis, let me tell you, that was 19 years ago. 19. And I was like, well, that thing plays. And it plays by itself. And I checked, it has no batteries. And the thing was loose. So, how's it playing? And she's like, and which I thought, like, you know what? It's old. That thing probably delayed. But nobody has touched it. And I asked her specifically, has anybody been up there recently and played with it? She said nobody goes up there at all. She recently sent people upstairs to clean the two rooms, and that's it. They didn't touch nothing. They just cleaned. They didn't play with it, nothing. And which is funny because the lady that cleaned the room, she was there. And she's like, I didn't touch nothing. I just cleaned. I didn't twist, nothing. And it didn't play, nothing. Then I was like, okay, that's weird. I asked her, because there's a picture in the room. Well, not in the room, in the living room. And me and my cousin, when we first opened the door, we had, like, we instantly, like we were shook. Like, that picture caught our attention. And we kept asking each other, like, who is that? Who is that? And we kept asking our cousins. And they're like, oh, we don't know who that is. So I asked my grandma. I said, who is that in the picture? upstairs. And she's like, oh, that's your uncle when he did his first communion. And I said, that's him? And she's like, yeah, that's him. Which, mind you, my uncle's a priest, so that's him, which it will tie together. And I said, well, I don't like it. I said, cute picture and everything, but that picture scares me. Like, it's so weird. I don't know why, but as soon as I walked in and out the room, I just had to look at the picture. I don't know what it was that I just had to look at it. I don't know. And that's when my cousin chimed in, and he's like, when I've stayed upstairs, that picture has fallen so many times, and it doesn't fall like face, nothing. It's standing up like normal. Like, it falls and like you hear like fall, like boom boom. But when I go to see what it was a picture frame, and it just felt like that, straight down. And I was like, that's so weird. And then the lady that was there, she's like, you don't like that picture? And I said, no, like, it scares me. I don't know what it is, but I just don't like it. She's like, okay, well, when I've stayed up there, that picture, when I woke up, it was next to the bed, like on the floor. And I was like, on the floor? What? She's like, yeah, that picture has moved so many times, and it has fallen so many times, and literally when I woke up, it was right next to me on the floor. And I was like, I said, I don't know, but y'all need to bless that picture because it's scary. My uncle's a priest. Maybe somebody trying to get him these little ghosts. I don't know. I don't know. But y'all need to bless that. So my uncle comes. He says, I don't like that picture either. Me. Why hasn't nobody moved it? And then he tells me how he's heard footsteps too. And I said, it's like little kids, right? And he's like, yeah, it's like little kids. And I'm just like, I don't know, that's kind of weird to me. Like, I didn't get scared at all. Like, I was just like, I just think it's weird. Like, what the heck? I don't find it scary. Like, it happened to me and I didn't find it scary. I was just like, I laughed actually. I was just like, that is so weird. I was like, but like, I'd still go upstairs by myself. That music box would still ring by itself. And I'd just be like, I'd literally be like, look, I'm not the one. I do not want to play. Go somewhere else because I'm busy. I'm trying to get ready. Shoo shoo. Go somewhere else. And it would stop. And nothing. I didn't hear nothing. After that, I was just like, that's so weird. That's so weird. Y'all need to bless this. Y'all need to, I don't know. It's probably like little kids. I don't know what happened there. Like, they say nothing has happened. But I don't know. Point is, mi abuela tiene duendes en su casa. Porque eso no es de Dios. Like, that's something that has to be looked at. And I actually try to get footage. Like, I actually would record and be like, do something. If you're here, do something. And then my camera died. And I was like, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my story about my little ghost experience or duendes. I don't know what it was, but it was a weird experience. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and stay tuned for more.